Da-dee-da-dee-da. See you in heck.
Welcome back, everybody, to the VHS Vault, and we are joined yet again by a very special guest, Captain Joe Dub from the Captain Squadron. Joe, welcome back to the VHS Vault, and let's not forget the man who the channel is named after, Jason Roy Gaston.
Yeah.
Boys, we are getting
Hello.
to the end of our Superman kind of retrospective series. And this movie, which we're talking about tonight, was one I had not even considered to be part of this. But the man next to me sold it, and actually sold it hard to the point where I'm going, he's right. We do gonna do this movie. And that's DC League of Super Pets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
It's okay.
So,
No one else thought of it either, apparently, according to the box office numbers.
Yeah.
no, but it is if the Superman movie that's coming out in very soon, once you've seen this episode's been up, it's very heavily got crypto in it, so it's kind of like, well,
It's
we got to
logical.
kind of talk about, yeah. And let's also be fair, Superman is in this movie,
Yeah.
Yes.
And Batman.
and Batman, and the entire Justice League. I'm just going to let it to you guys. I know you love this film, Jay, so let's throw it to Joe. Joe, just a few comments about your initial thoughts of this film.
Super cute start off. The total human falling in love with somebody, kind of leaving the pet behind worry, which is something that I always kind of had for pets. Like, I dated a girl that had a really cute dog. And the dog seemed to like me at first, and then when we got closer, then it wasn't so friendly.
He got to
So
know you, that's all.
yeah, no, I'm an awesome guy. So
The only pet that gets along with you is the literal Antichrist, but sure.
no, that's not true. All the
Oh,
dogs-
no, he's really the Antichrist.
And
There's
then,
video evidence of that too, by the way.
yeah,
I pressed a cross to his head and his whole forehead caught on fire. It was amazing.
and then he said, "You will not stop me."
Yeah, and Jason
I
was
have
just
no
saying
use
before
for
you got on
such
the show,
little
Joe,
trinkets.
Teddy's
Exactly.
request for a blood sacrifice is just going to cause a problem for him when he flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It threw me off that The Rock was crypto. It was just like, okay, I know The Rock's got to be the leading role, but it just like the way The Rock is, and being a long-term fan of his until he was a little mean, but it's just so weird to hear him as a dog. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know, it just didn't really mesh too well. Great cast overall for the rest of the pets. I'm not surprised it didn't do that well. It wasn't a big overall arc of be careful about adopting pets, like be good, go and help them out, which I did appreciate because there is a current crisis with pet adoption here on my side of the states, because everybody went and got adopted pets, and now that people are back to work and COVID's kind of over,
The COVID thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's really upsetting because I really like animals. Like, I'm a big dog person, cat person. I sent you a message today. I should have sent. Did I send it to you too with that animal? I sent it to you, Jace.
I don't know. No,
No,
I don't think so.
There's this animal. I don't know if it's from Australia, but it's like a mix of a fox and a
No, you sent that to me, yeah.
Did I send it to you, Jace?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Oh, I sent it to you
Because I told you I wanted 10 of them.
Yeah, I totally want one of those now. And I was like, Jace probably has one in his backyard. But
He probably calls it like the C word every other day.
Yeah.
Cute little thing.
Hey,
I
man,
hate you.
you know how they made that direwolf? Those same people are going to resurrect a Tasmanian tiger.
I saw that.
Which was, the last sighting I think was in the 1920s. So we're talking 100 years ago, and they bring it back. I'll have a Tassie tiger. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
Now,
like
are they the Tassie tigers as wild as the Tasmanian devil?
Oh yeah. Look, I would suggest that what will be interesting, because once they bring it back, right, they've got to raise it in, in captivity. So how its behavior would be interesting. But yeah, they were hunters.
Oh boy,
they were hunters. Yeah, they're a tiger.
Yeah,
there's
They're
like
as big as
there's
a
like a
tiger.
literal movie franchise about why this shouldn't happen. But I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm
and
for
plus, being a Tasmanian tiger, it'll do that little typhoon everywhere it moves.
Yeah.
That'd
That'd be fun.
And coming back to this film,
stew.
yeah. So this film's not for me.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. In fact, it saddened me in moments where I was thinking about the bigger picture of it, because there's nothing fresh in this film for me.
No.
It actually feels like animation, this type of animated film, is stuck in a time warp of the last 20 years. Was it animated particularly interestingly? The themes were very predictable. It's clearly targeted at a young audience. And it just kind of, and I'll be honest with you, the voiceover acting of The Rock and Kevin Hart is abysmal in this movie.
Yeah,
it's only saved by the other characters like Diego Luna and Mark Maron doing Lex, which I enjoyed, and Natasha Lyonne and Alfred Molina. I mean, there's a stellar cast in this, and I should just be cynical, but it didn't give anything. It was a grind. I'll be really honest with you. It was a grind to get through this movie. In fact, the only time I laughed was the moment at the end of it with the corgi, the mutant corgi, going, "I ate the FedEx guy."
I ate the FedEx guy.
Which is a pretty damn funny line.
That
I
was
did
fun.
like that.
Yeah.
But like, I feel
guinea
like in the
pig bit
pitch
was fun.
meeting, they were pitching these high concept ideas and going, "Oh yeah, and they'll be attacked in this giant thing by mutant guinea pigs." I'm sure it sounded funny in the room, but the execution of it after 3 seconds is, I get it, okay, and then I've got to wait to get to the end of the scene. So it's not made for me. It's made for a lot younger version of me.
Yeah.
I thought it was completely charming, to be perfectly honest. I really did. I guess I'm just in that right mindset.
Yeah.
I have to admit there were some choices made with this movie that I thought I wouldn't have done that, but whatever. I would have liked to have seen the Justice League in it a lot more than what they were, because I really thought the Justice League were like the funniest moments, especially Keanu Reeves as Batman. He was so funny as Batman.
Not only that, he was a good, like the voice and everything like that. I was
He
like,
also got the best lines too, didn't he?
Yes.
You get the best lines.
I miss my parents.
Yeah.
Just thought that was great.
When they're all in captive and he's going on that little rant, which is great, and everyone is kind of checked out, which is pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I thought I really enjoyed. I even liked because they had some really good designs that were something that you hadn't seen before, and yet they were still kind of good looking, except for Cyborg. Good Lord, what were they thinking with the half-row? That was not great.
I don't mind the name of it though.
The half-row, yeah, I really liked that.
Not a bad name of it.
Yeah.
I liked seeing Jessica Cruz as Green Lantern. And not only that, they gave her a fun personality, because usually in the comics she's such a downbeat person. Here she's fun. I liked how they were kind of taking the piss out of Jason Momoa with Aquaman. You know, they were just making fun of him there, and I think that was great. Now I did think that there were some very boring choices with the story. The whole thing about my I was left behind by my mommy and daddy because I supposedly bit the cat. Like, yeah, we've heard that before. That's nothing.
It's called Toy Story 2.
Yeah, it's Toy Story 2. It's a bunch of other things. It's Island of Dogs. It's all these other things.
All those we haven't.
Yeah, and then the turtle, who just for absolutely no reason straight up uses profanity that they have to bleep out. I'm like, who is this joke for? Is this for kids? Like, ha ha, she said the F word and we didn't hear it. Because it was just so out of pocket for this movie. Because this is like a cutesy kids targeted movie, and then you have a turtle dropping the F-bomb that's bleeped out, but it just doesn't fit. And it's strange because Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is just an incredible movie in my opinion, does something kind of similar, but it's a one-off joke thing, and it's done for pure shock value, and it was hilarious. I thought. Here it's just I think because they do it more than once. I think if they left it once, it would have been fine. But yeah, I thought it was charming. It was very low concept, charming. Certainly better than what I thought it would be. And I'll be honest, it was my favorite DC movie that entire year. That's not saying much, but it was my favorite DC movie that entire year. It came out last year, I think. 22?
No,
okay, yeah, whatever came out in 22.
I think it was the same year as Black Adam, wasn't it? Because I feel like this is where The Rock has, I am in DC.
Yeah,
he was trying to take that shit over, right?
You did see the after credit scene, right? Where Black Adam shows up, and it's voiced by The Rock as well.
I didn't.
Okay, I have
not
to.
Not a bad.
It was a good after credit scene, I thought, because they were kind of taking the piss out of Black Adam. Yeah. You know, the Black Adam has a dog, and the dog's trying to explain to Crypto that he's that sounds like a villain. We're an anti-hero. Oh, really? You will respect us, or I will grind you to dust. Yeah, that sounds like a villain thing. Anti-hero.
Look, it really has a lot to do with the voice acting of The Rock, and maybe I was also polluted by the fact that I just can't stand the guy anymore in anything. I am interested in that biography he's doing coming up, where he's going all serious, playing that famous first fighter from the UFC. Because that's his Oscar movie. He's doing a big Oscar movie.
Really?
Man.
Yeah. It actually looks pretty good, and he's almost unrecognizable in ways. However, in this, he's just like Kevin Hart. That's my other issues. Kevin Hart. You get Kevin Hart, who is rather dull in this movie as a voice.
I thought he was
someone
fine.
Who's known for really going places with his comedy. He feels very muted here as a character. And that's the problem I have with those two guys. So I'm never invested in those two characters really at all. I was more invested in the villain than I was.
Lulu?
It was Kate McKinnon, so of course.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon.
Right.
I will listen to Kate McKinnon do anything because she's hilarious.
She stood out. So did the big surprise was Diego Luna for me. I'm going, wouldn't have been my choice, but a great inspired choice.
Yes,
to do it. Yes. I also love the moment with the squirrel when they're all focusing to get better at their powers. And the way he focuses, his eyeballs come straight. It's a little throwaway gag, but everyone's doing these things. And all he had to do was just get his eyes straight. Nice little moment there. Yeah, look, it just, I don't know, it just fell flat. I felt the animation was really reductive in the sense that it just feels like a lot of those movies. It didn't really try and do its own art style.
Yeah, it's like it reminded me of Superman animated adventures, where it's like Superman's body was ginormous, but his legs were like.
But they didn't go far enough with that, though.
Yeah,
that's my problem. It ended up becoming a homogenized version where it looked like. Geez, pick out most of the DreamWorks films, except for obviously the first Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon movies, because they're amazing. But a lot of their DreamWorks films has that. Some of those Grinch,
Guru,
Horton Hears a Who, where the animation is like the giant facial expressions and the quick kind of moving, which is kind of, to me, inspired by the Looney Tunes. Like that's their reference.
Oh, I never thought
when it comes to their physicality animation.
Yeah.
It just. I'm sure if I'd shown my son this when he was 5, he would have thought this was amazing. But at 51, sitting in my underoos eating cereal, didn't go with
mental illness.
Hold on. They're tight underoos too, very tight.
Hold on, I'm trying to give myself a concussion.
He leans into it. They're very tight.
I'll describe them more if you like. I'll tell you.
No, that's okay.
We're good.
I was Darth Vader underoos.
Oh my God, Luke!
It's winter here, so
help me, Luke.
Oh, that's right, Southern Hemisphere.
It's winter here, so I wasn't just sitting in jockettes or anything. I was
trying to warm up.
I'm making that all up.
The animation is jarring on a lot of these current animated movies. They just kind of like
just feel the same. They just feel the same.
Yeah, it's like carbon copy, and they're all disjointed because you got tiny little hands, and it just doesn't add up right.
I was just like, to me, I was thinking, why wouldn't you, if you were doing a DC Super Pets, really take the animation style, bring the animated Batman the Animated Series or Superman series, that whole genre, Bruce Timm and all that animation, and bring that into the 3D realm.
They've
Exactly.
done it before. Did you ever see the Green Lantern animated series?
No.
They took the Bruce Timm designs.
No, I haven't.
They took the Bruce Timm designs and they brought it into 3D.
And how'd it look?
It looked real good.
Wow.
Real good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
a very underrated series, actually.
Yeah. It does pine for me that we never got a Keanu who's Batman, because you're right.
He was really good.
Stand out. And it's always so shocking with Keanu Reeves, because he copped a lot in his early career of being the whoa dude, right?
Yeah.
And in his later half of career, even though he's very kind of a solemn, stoic character, he just does amazing choices sometimes.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does.
And with his voice, the way he did it, he was in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been, I've got to look it up on YouTube. I bet you there's fun clips of him in the recording booth doing it and that. I think that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, totally.
But you talked about some of the cast, all the voice casts they got for this thing, though. We mentioned a few of them, but let's go through them. You got Jermaine Clement doing a voice, the great Jermaine Clement. You know him, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
of course.
Flight of Conchords.
Yep.
Keith David, the great, the epic Keith David.
Yes,
Yeah.
as Crypto's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was a funny bit. Every time Keith David popped up as Dog L, I was laughing.
Well, the bit where they skip bits, he's skipping through the bits. There's actually I reckon it's a frame on the screen of him licking himself.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
great as well. I thought that wasn't too bad. Yeah, Vanessa Bay, John Krasinski.
Yes.
You know?
Odd choice for Superman.
You know what? I had to look it up halfway through because I didn't hear his voice. Like, I didn't hear it as John Krasinski.
Oh, then they did a good job.
I
caught it right away. I was like, interesting choice. Yeah.
So yeah, I think they pulled out all stops here to get this cast, because it's a massive cast. Vanessa Bayer, Natasha Lyonne, who I really like,
Olivia Wilde,
like I said, Mark Maron, who just a really interesting choice for Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
he was a good
even
Lex
Ben
Luthor.
Schwartz. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
even Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog and
Shadow.
Louis from Sonic and Shadow was in this movie, weren't they?
Yeah, Sonic and Shadow.
Yeah, Sonic and Shadow were in this movie.
Yeah.
In a better movie. We'll have to do that retrospective one day, the Sonic films.
We will.
I like them.
I'll tell you what, I wanted to go in and hate that film.
Me too, but it was so good.
Because I was like, this is so mishandled. I was disgusted in the concept of them retro fixing it because they had to admit their mistake. But mate, talk about a charming film, Jason. Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'll
be
the first one.
And all three of them are good, which is also impressive.
I got to say, it's kind of a scale that goes upwards.
Yeah.
And the fact that they recycled Ugly Sonic in the Chippendale Rescues Rangers movie was just inspired. And not only did they recycle him, they made him a vital part of the plot, too.
Yeah,
which was just like, yes! They took one look at my ugly human teeth and they just like, hit the road, Ugly Sonic.
Yeah, that's actually a funny movie, actually.
It is a hilarious movie.
I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it.
Great. It's like Roger Rabbit on crack.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's the other issue I have with this film now. You mention it is like the lack of, like, you try to do comedy, right, that hits all audiences and things like that. And they go for the real low-hanging fruit. But, you know, these good animated films really are clever about how they introduce adult humor into it.
Mm.
And I just don't think this film really handled that well, except for those couple of moments that we mentioned. Beside that, it's kind of lacking in the funny department.
Yeah, I didn't laugh much at all during this movie. I felt I was drawn in because the animation was so disjointed, because appendages were tiny and it was just weird. And I kept
he's just looking at the groin of each character.
No, I'm looking at their
hell?
Their feet and hands. I'm like, why are they so small? It doesn't make sense. The leg is just so tiny. And like I just kept like, oh, what's up with Batman? And then Aquaman shows up. I'm like, that I had to look it up because Aquaman was a voice I couldn't recognize. I'm like, who the hell is this? And I'm thinking to myself, is it Jason Momoa? And I just get lost in my own head sometimes, and I just kind of like flatlined and just.
I can't remember who it was. I'm looking it up now.
It's the guy from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, it's Jermaine. They're the guy. Yeah,
Jermaine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, like it's a shame because I feel like this is a missed opportunity because you had such a strong cast.
Yeah.
And I think if you replaced the two leads of this film, with actual like interesting voices. I think this thing probably could. I also need a rewrite. I feel like this is also by committee script because of the beats that we've seen
from Warner Brothers. No way.
No way.
You're right. You're right. It's like
absolutely.
Hey, what worked in those other films? Let's put that in here.
I did like the mustache joke about Superman, though. I did laugh at that. That was fun.
Actually, I do remember that wasn't too bad. I did smirk. I think at that one. That's who you got out of me was a smirk. But,
smirk. Yeah,
I recognized it. But yeah, like obviously this was of that period where we really thought The Rock was going to change DC for Black Adam to be the center of it.
Right.
Power base of the DC universe is changing. Oh no, my movie bombed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is produced by his company, right?
Yeah,
$7. Yeah. Oh, the bomb. Yeah, look, a $90 million budget, which being Warner Brothers, they're undercounting that by probably another 50. No, it did them 90 million and a box office 207 million. So simple math would say it was profitable. However, Joe, it wasn't because of the marketing. Actually, add another $100 million for marketing.
Yeah.
The fact that they only get a third of the money back, but it was a failure for them. Yeah. And it was the first red flag, really, wasn't it? That
Hey, you can't bring kids in.
It was not the first red flag.
No,
to be honest. It was far from the worst.
About the Rock being involved.
The Rock.
Yeah, right. It's one of many red flags.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm going to bring up something kind of. I don't know if it's controversial or not because I don't know your guys' opinion. They dropped a new Superman trailer the other day, and I put up a video about it.
I saw your video before I saw the trailer. Thanks.
I did not see your video.
No, it's a bad trailer.
You said
bad trailer.
I disagree. I think it's a good trailer.
I'll tell you why I think it's a bad trailer, and it's and let me just state, I do believe this movie is going to be great. I completely trust in James Gunn. The problem with the trailer is more like, who is this trailer for? Because this trailer fails to, I reckon, capture the masses. Well, you think about Superman the movie, the first Superman the movie, the way they marketed that movie was targeted for everybody. Now, this film, I think, is targeted for a fan base that's already going and fails to deliver a trailer that I think is going to appeal to the average person who's just going to go to the cinema on a Friday night with his missus or something and see a movie because there's too much in it. You guys... Like, I think I even, like in our chat, a point is there are all these references in that movie. Most of them I know, but not everything. But people are into it. That's cool. That's great. That's cool. But what about the average Joe?
Well, I think
I think it's a confusing trailer.
I think the goal here is, okay, we need to satisfy the overly internet yappers that are really like critical of the first trailer. And I think that's what they were trying to achieve. It's like we got mystery,
which is a bad strategy in my opinion, because the fact of the matter is the DC universe survival with James Gunn in it is not dependent just on the fans going to see this movie. This thing needs to be big. And if it's not big, it's gone. Warner Brothers will sell it. They will sell it. They've threatened it before. And the problem is, I think they've taken a wrong chance on that. If it was me, if I was to recut the trailer, I would focus on the 4 key elements of that film for the mass audience. And that would be characters that everybody knows. Even if you haven't seen the Superman film, you know who Superman is, you know who Lois is, you know who Lex is. Most of you will know who the dog is. But the dog should be in it and I would have built it around them. And left the kaiju, left Nathan Fillion out, left the Authority out as a surprise for the audience to discover in the film. Rather than I think for the average person, this trailer is going to be a turn off, and they'll go, "I don't get it," and that to me is a big concern.
Are we certain that that's the Authority though?
It's the engineer. It's not the Authority.
Sorry, not Authority, the engineer. See, that's, you know what I mean? And I kind of in this world, and I got that wrong. And the guy down the street, you know? So
that's a good point.
That's my only concern, because I want this movie to be mega successful. Because here's my fear about James Gunn. He hasn't proved to be a winner in the DC Universe film yet.
No.
The last film he made was The Suicide Squad, and that was a financial disaster.
But that was not his fault. That was HBO Max.
Agreed.
And dummy dumbs.
And agreed. And you go look at Rotten Tomatoes, and all three of us would agree here. That's a fantastic movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And definitely the best, in my opinion, of the DC universe.
Yeah.
It's the one I had the most amount of fun with.
Right.
But it doesn't equate to dollars. And that's my concern because, man, do I want to see his 10-year plan to fruition. Yeah. And again, I believe it's going to be great. But I think the marketing, Warner Brothers, as screw as they are, they don't fill me with confidence in how they're selling this film.
I'm wondering if they're going to have another trailer that's going to pop in like a week.
No, that's it. That's your final trailer. That's labeled as your final trailer. If you go,
really?
Yep. So now all you'll get is your 30-second ad spots.
Yeah.
Sometimes they add more footage into those 30-second spots, but literally that's how they've sold it to the world. And I just think it's, if I was James Gunn, I would say, look, I've got to recut this trailer. Because remember, it's not him. Warner Brothers hire external studios whose job is to cut the trailer from the footage delivered to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That guy's probably like, wow, that's cool. Look at the kaiju. Let's put that in there. Oh, they're arguing. Let's put that in there. Like, he just...
Well, it's the Green Lantern stuff. It's the kaiju. It's the non-traditional canon stuff that not everybody knows, I think, was there. Like, I just would have made it a lot simpler. I would have used the power. Don't know how I feel about them using the traditional Superman theme.
Are they going to use it in the movie?
Don't know. Well, it's certainly in the trailer.
It's used in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a different usage of those notes, but
yeah,
it's still like, oh, that's a shame. I would like them to move on from that.
Ooh.
And they can do it. Hans Zimmer did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did a good job too, because I really enjoyed his Superman. Like, because like Hans Zimmer's Batman was something left to be desired, but Superman was he nailed it. I think because it was just like
best ever theme. I think we'd all agree with this Junkie XL Wonder Woman.
Oh,
yeah, amazing, right? Like,
oh yeah, that was badass. Yeah. I still the 92, 90, 89 Batman is still pretty dope too.
It is, but
that's really good.
There is, and it's great they used it in the Flash because it's appropriate.
Yes,
I'm sure they would have used it in Batgirl
because
that would have been appropriate because Michael Keaton was in that as well.
Yeah,
but
I hope they released that movie.
I think it's time for you to kind of move on. And James Gunn is clearly from the footage I've seen that he's bringing a real fresh take to this. Right, this is a different take. This is eliminating
for sure.
Yeah. We're like mid-career Superman. I feel like 5 years in or something. Like
it's not fresh off the boat.
It's not fresh off the boat. We're not retelling the origin again. Thankfully.
Thank God, that's been.
By the way, Jason, I don't know if you can pop up this meme that you posted before.
Oh yeah,
it's a great example between this new version of Park Kent and the man.
Oh God, that was funny.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's so true.
Yes, that is going to go up. It's here already.
Yeah.
Look at it. You can't see it now, but it's there.
Yeah, and it's great. He really nailed it. It's funny.
I got excited over this trailer because I think that it's going to explore things in Superman that the other movies haven't explored, and I think that they're good questions. Like, and it's whenever we were talking about Superman 4, I said that Superman 4 could have been an examination of, what would somebody with Superman's power actually do for the world, and here we seem to see that. We see a Superman who's going into foreign countries to stop wars, and we're going to see the fallout from that. And I just think that's really fascinating. Now, does that appeal to the masses? Quite frankly, I don't care. It's Superman.
Because
it's Superman.
What if you love it and it ends up being another Suicide Squad thing, and then they go, we don't get no more James Gunn thing. So that's my only thing as a long-term thing. I will address what's in the trailer that I loved, a lot of what you said. I love the sit-down between Lois and Clark, and she's drilling him like she's Megyn Kelly and he's Trump. So, it's great. I love that idea of that. There is a lot to love. There is a lot to love as somebody who's into this stuff in that. And the war battle scenes got me excited because I remember seeing a clip of before, but that scale of that thing, he's right in the middle of a full-blown battlefield I like. Don't know how I feel about the kaiju thing. I'm sure it'll make much more context once we see it.
Yeah.
a little bit already feeling for those robots. I'm already in an emotionally locked into the arc of the robots because I'd seen the clip of how great they were, and then I've seen she go in and slice and dice them. So that's James Gunn all over, isn't it? He's going to make you care about a robot.
Yeah, he's so good at that. Because I care about a raccoon now. Thanks.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
I still can't watch that film without crying.
I know. I tried
emotional moments.
I tried to watch it the other day, and I was like, nope.
Stupid James Gunn.
My godson texted me the other day. He's like, I think James Gunn went too far with this movie. I'm emotionally wrecked. I'm like, me too. Me too.
I love Superman's personality in that trailer.
Yes.
He seemed like a real dude, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot better.
Somebody we would know.
Yeah.
Right? Personality-wise. So I think that's a really great way to add freshness into it as well.
Yeah.
So there is from a comic book fan, I freaking can't wait. And I know it'll be great, but I was thinking more big picture, the money.
I love what they did with some of the re-editing because somebody pointed this out. It's something that I discovered. But the part where Superman's walking through the crowd and somebody pelts him in the back of the head, in the original trailer he blinks or he kind of recognizes it. And then this one he doesn't.
And it's such a thing I didn't notice at the time, but it does inform who that character is in a way.
Yeah.
And it is Superman. He would blink being hit with a full can. I don't know if that was half a can or whatever.
You could throw a 12-pack at him. It's just like, whatever. It's Superman, you know? You know, or a keg. And it's still going to be like, why are you bothering? So, yeah, it's the realization of the almost omnipotent power that he possesses and at all times. Because remember, he's always holding back because we're like ants, you know, in a sense.
However, you could say that James Gunn has kind of lessened his ability by the looks of it in this film because of that scene where he has to get repaired, basically. Has to get the big magnifying glass which I don't mind either, because I think if you could do that and make that work, it just adds more flavor to the character rather than having just him kind of like what they went through in Justice League. You couldn't really have him in Justice League because once he's in Justice League, he wins.
Yeah.
Well, y'all know who Ultraman is, right?
Yeah, he's evil Superman.
Yeah. Okay. Wouldn't it be cool if they cast Henry Cavill?
I mentioned that.
I wish, but there's no way.
You never know.
I want to be that bummer.
Would totally do it. Cavill would totally do it.
No, Warner Brothers wouldn't do it. They are frightened right now. I can tell you right now, the executive sphincter in that boardroom are going like this at the moment over this movie.
Who do you think is Ultraman?
It's either going to be a clone or it's going to be Superman from an alternate universe.
No. Ultraman is Superman from an alternate universe. Who's playing that character? Is it going to be the same guy?
It could be the same guy. Maybe it's Dean Cain. I could see Dean Cain.
Don't say that. All right. There are many things in this world I can deal with. But Dean Cain, no thanks.
Wasn't Dean Cain in that airplane disaster movie?
Yes. Where he spends 45 minutes just going, and then says a line and then grunts again. He was awful.
I mean, my heart of hearts hopes that it's Henry Cavill, but you know, at least it won't be. The fans would
scream, but I think it takes you out of the movie if you do that.
Yeah,
I think if it is going to be a Superman from an alternate universe or a clone, it's going to be David Cornsweet. Either that or it's going to be like somebody whose face is all messed up.
Oh,
I dare them not to reveal it at all, and then it gets revealed 4 movies down the track.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I would
and bring in the Injustice. Bring in the crime syndicate for the
crime syndicate.
That's the Justice League movie. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what Ultraman was the boss of. Yeah. They were like mobster. Justice League became mobsters.
Yeah.
Now, to kind of circle this back around to the movie we are talking about tonight, the future of DC animation from a film perspective, like James Gunn's Creature Commandos,
fantastic. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it because it's fantastic.
Yes. It is really great.
Yeah. And it's really adult, great. So the kids.
If you don't get emotional over the Weasel episode, you
dude. Oh my god,
because that is heartbreaking. I wonder if that's in the future. If things go well, could we see DC animated movies rather than series? that are connected to the James Gunn universe.
I mean, one of my favorite Batman stories is Mask of the Phantasm. And
Of course, yeah, early 90s. Yes.
Yeah, I think if
Love
we
it.
get an opportunity to get that again and then actually fund it properly and market it properly, we can get some good quality cartoon movies, man.
I'm just tired of seeing. I'm tired of seeing Warner Brothers sabotage everything.
Yeah, that's what's
it's so
scares me.
tiresome.
Yeah, don't mess. Let the guy do what he's doing. Don't get involved. Let the artist do his art.
Yeah.
You know, we don't go to Picasso's house and be like,
and that, we
"Please,
all
brush, man."
too, because Zack Snyder had this vision for this, and you put it up in the feed, Jason, about what potentially could have been planned for his vision of Justice League. Was you, wasn't it, Jason? I think
It was
up.
me, yes.
Yeah. And it has sounded great and all that, but the problem is it comes down to it's a business. And no, one part of it really doesn't tell the full story, because once you see the whole thing, it makes sense. You can't do that in Hollywood.
No.
And you certainly can't do that with Warner Brothers,
Definitely.
who are there basically like Johnny Depp in that Tim Burton. What's famous movie? He's the barber slitting the throats.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, of course. How could I forget? One
Demon
of the most
Barber
famous
of Seville, yeah.
plays of the last 30, 40 years.
Barber of Seville.
Not Seville, but the Demon Barber of something.
Yeah. Either way, that's what I feel like they're doing.
You're going too far by mistake, buddy. Like, come on.
Killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit.
Now, one of the greatest cartoons in cinema.
Yeah, that's true.
Referring to
That's how I learned about opera as a kid.
Same.
I know this song. Killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit.
Hey, on Tubi, because just slight plug, on Tubi they have a lot of the Looney Tunes now.
Do they?
Watch all the old Looney Tunes cartoons, which is great. So.
Well, I guess once they were purged from Max, they had to go somewhere. Oh, I'm sorry. It's HBO Max again.
Do I have to re-download the
now
app?
their social media, the way they handle that situation, chef's kiss, because they made fun of it.
I know John Cena's so funny.
Yeah. There were all these posts from HBO. If you go on the HBO Max Instagram feed, all these people like ragging on it and these little making fun of themselves for keep changing it. There's a great little Spider-Man meme, with all pointing at each other, but it's
HBO Max?
Batman or Superman. But they're all Superman pointing at each other. One saying HBO Go. Oh yeah, the HBO guys behind the crates.
Oh, wow.
HBO Max, HBO.
Yeah, HBO Go. Was it Go? That was the first one.
That was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Go, then Max, then Max.
It was
no, it wasn't HBO.
It was
Max,
Go, HBO Max, and then HBO Max again. And I'm sure in another year it'll be back to HBO Go.
Max
it was
Go.
only recently in Australia we got access to Max. It didn't exist as a streaming service down here.
Oh wow!
In the last 3 months ago, and ever since I've got it, it is my go-to streaming service.
I like it a lot.
I go to that one more than anyone else.
Are you watching Last of Us?
No.
Also,
not after that episode.
No.
Forget it.
Yeah.
No, daddy, no me.
A big bucket of nope.
Big gold glass of nope. One thing I will say is you guys got to go and watch the Crisis cartoon movie that they have on Max. If you haven't seen
all three of them, yes, I've seen all three.
Yeah, I've seen them too.
Oh, you've seen them?
My gosh,
that came about 10 years ago. Now.
They were
they were a while ago, but I always
they were okay. I'm going to be honest; they were not great, but man, that scene with Kevin Conroy reprising as Batman for what turned out to be the last time was
who knew
the most appropriate exit for him. I thought, but. They said that was Mark Hamill as the Joker?
Yes.
That did not sound like Mark Hamill.
No.
It sounded like AI.
Oh.
And that really upset me.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, hey, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And while you're mentioning DC animated films, they had a run there from the mid-2000s to the mid-2010s where they were just pumping out banger after banger of DC anime. That whole Batman run, Under the Red Hood, and
Under the Red Hood is like the greatest, I think, probably the best animated Batman movie they've ever made.
Yeah. It was the one with Damien first time we get introduced to it. It was
Batman,
old series.
Son of Batman.
Yeah, that was a good one.
See, these were phenomenal stuff. Yeah. I mean, and they were so ahead of the curve than Marvel on that stuff.
Yeah. The Joker one was fantastic too. The Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That is so good.
And the balls that they took to just like murder the entire universe in that one movie. I was watching that going, holy crap, how are they going to fix this? Oh, they're not.
Yeah.
There's like, yeah, our whole universe is screwed. Let's reset it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. It can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Again, bold
It got
choices,
worse. It got way worse.
R-rated animated movies, and man, people love those movies.
I did, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
You know, I think back in the day when I was buying Blu-rays, I definitely have Under the Red Hood and Son of Batman. I reckon that was the one I've got as well. I bought. I don't have them anymore, but yeah,
I still have my Return of the Joker.
Sold them all, right? Because I was like, physical media is for yesterday's people.
Little did you know.
I kept a couple of major box sets, which I still have. Obviously, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones. I kept all my box sets, but individuals just went.
I didn't know you liked Lord of the Rings. That's pretty cool.
Do I like Lord of the Rings? This is an obsession in this house.
Really?
Every year. I mean, Joshua comes over for a day and we watch the extended editions every year. I love it.
You got the 4K.
He went over there last year to Hobbiton.
Oh, really?
Got a ring, the one ring.
The one ring. That's
you, Jace.
Did I?
You and me, 2026. Let's go.
That would be amazing. I would love to do it.
Let's do it. We got to go barefoot. We got to go barefoot. We got to wear the robes.
And we're going to go to their feast. You're going to go to the Hobbit feast.
I can do a feast. Heck yeah. And we're going to end it by throwing a copy of Man of Steel into a volcano.
Oh no! You see me dive in like Gollum.
No, let's surrender.
That's a really good Gollum, by the way.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
No, man, we love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, one day we'll actually talk about it in the VHS Vault 1 year. Because
that just means I'm gonna have to rewatch The Hobbit, though.
No, oh yeah, no. I would actually be the one. You see, with retrospective, we have this internal rule, Joe, that if we do it, we got to do everything.
Yeah.
I haven't watched War of the Rohirrim.
No, it's on Max at the moment too. I haven't watched it myself.
That also means we'd have to do the animated Hobbit. And the animated
Ralph
Macchio, and the animated Return of the King.
Those were good.
Oh my goodness! Guess what we're gonna do?
Time this out. Here, look, we're doing development on the show. We can time this out for the Hunt for Gollum at the end of next year, which is being released.
Oh, that's right, and that's directed by what's his name, right?
Yeah, Andy Serkis is returning, and I think it's Peter Jackson.
Time.
I don't know, Jace. We'll have to convene at some point because we have a schedule.
Watch it now and then take notes.
Fascinating idea, though.
It is a fascinating idea.
I love
it. Maybe after that one very long, like 11 or 12 installment that we're talking about that we can't talk about right now. Maybe after that, but before the 5-episode installment that we're doing. And maybe we could sandwich it together.
There's a lot of planning going on.
I think
yes, we're over planning everything. We are the people who overpack for trips.
Oh, nice.
Well,
we should really get into scheduling things for 2029.
Absolutely. Especially with that series, though. I think there will be one of the movies that we review, which may actually be the end of the show, because I think our opinion will be so unpopular. But I can't wait to talk about it.
Wow. Those are big words, my friend.
Big words. We throw around big words here all the time.
Oh, nice.
Deoxyribonucleic acid. Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous, yes.
So next time we reconvene, boys, will be for the next step, which we've all seen Superman. So all this chitter chatter, all this fear around what may or may not happen, we'll be able to dive deep into it. So I'll be looking forward to joining you boys again to talk about Superman. So
yeah, me too. Because it's the biggest for me. It's the biggest movie I've wanted to see in a long time. Because ever since I heard James Gunn,
you're going to take the kids.
Yes, we're going to go. So we have the largest IMAX in the United States, right in New York City, and we're going to go take the boat over the ferry. You guys were on the ferry with me, so you know what I'm talking. Yeah. So we're going to take the ferry, and then we're going to take a nice little walk up to 72nd Street.
Beautiful. The reason I asked that is because I'll be fascinated to hear how the kids react to the film.
Oh
Did
yeah.
they like it or not? So, you know, drill
I'll
them
do
a million questions on the way home.
Yeah.
Because I'd be curious to hear what you said, what they thought about. Because this is a new, younger audience, right? Who don't have 40 years of inbuilt fandom
Right.
injected into them. So it'll be curious to see how they absorb it.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
I'm excited because it's their first IMAX and it's in my favorite IMAX. It's this
blow your mind.
Huge, man. It's the size of, I would say, you guys were in my building, so I would say it's like half my building.
Yeah. But they've got, apparently it's not the biggest, but it is the second or third in
now.
Melbourne.
Yeah, it was the biggest.
Yeah.
So my video store used to be an old Kmart, and we put some bed sheets up on one wall, and we're just like, we got ourselves a movie theater now.
Yeah. There you go. No, I actually saw a Top Gun Maverick in IMAX, and that film's a great film because it's kind of classic Hollywood in some ways. But on the big, like anything, I reckon this film would have been better on IMAX.
I doubt it would be on
better in IMAX.
Melbourne is very far from you, or not very far?
8-hour drive.
Oh, that's
so far.
Less than an hour flight. So you
Where's
get on a
fly
plane
just to go to this IMAX?
45 minutes later, you're landing in Melbourne.
Okay, that's
oh my goodness.
So
I don't think you're going to fly to go see.
Which Jace will find out if he comes down next year.
There you go.
That's the good thing. It's actually, I feel like it doesn't take you long really to get anywhere in Australia. I think the longest flight you have to take is 3 hours, maybe.
Oh wow!
I don't know how
Australia's like the size of New York.
Well, Australia's the size of America. Very, very, very similar.
No, America's 8-hour flight side to side.
Yeah, well, there's nothing. If you look at Australia, you put Australia map from side to side, you'd fly from in the middle of nowhere on a beach somewhere where there's killer dolphins to Sydney. There's no other city on there except Perth down the bottom on the. You're looking at the map on the left side.
Yeah.
Remember, we're a coastal nation.
Yeah,
we might be great in landmass, but there's a whole lot of sweet FA in Australia. That's what Jason will look at my backyard and go, mate, there's nothing here. You're going home.
I'm from West Texas. It will not be that much of a shock. You'll be like, looks like where I come from.
No, that would be shocking to me because it's like where my mom, where Cosmic Mom is desolate like that. But then like it would be like, ooh, where's everything? And is it you got to go when was it Magpie season?
Yeah, which happens starts around August, goes to that top.
Yeah, you got to go then, Jace.
We have Mockingbird season.
There is
here.
enough things here to kill him. We don't need the Magpie as well. He's got that quota covered.
You know, you got the mockingbirds in the trees here. You walk by, it's like, be careful, that's a mockingbird nest. The mockingbirds are, careful, that's a mockingbird nest. Be careful, that's a mockingbird nest.
Well, that's what kookaburras are. They mock you and laugh at you as you walk by.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that would bug me out. We had there's one bird that we had in New York when I was a kid, and it would go wah, 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 and it drove me nuts. Like, oh god, and it like would pop up.
That just wasn't a crazy homeless person.
Yeah, somebody with a megaphone out in Central Park going wah, 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 wah.
Imagine that should just be my luck.
Next to those ladies that sell those cup of fruit.
Yeah. Was that wild when you came here?
Man, it was
that's good fruit.
It was watermelon.
It was good.
Wow. Okay. It's cheaper with them than it is at the CVS. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
I always remember that day because it's the first time I came face to face with the awesome, top tier animal of the squirrel.
I'm sorry. He was so cute. We're walking through Central Park and he just goes, is that a squirrel? oh my god, is that a squirrel? And I'm just like, you don't have squirrels in Australia? No, I don't have squirrels in Australia. Look at this squirrel. He starts chasing it.
If I was wearing my khakis that day, I would have gone full, down on my knees.
He was calling his wife and crying. He's like, you will never guess what I'm looking at right now.
In fact, if on my photo reel on my phone, I think there was more pictures of squirrels than there were the city.
we took 5 pictures of the 3 of us, and everything else is the squirrel.
Fair. It's totally fair.
Yeah.
You'll get that a lot too when you come down. Holy shit! There's this.
Yeah. there's a park in the Bronx called Orchard Beach, and the squirrels are not afraid of humans. So they will literally come up to you and be like, "Hey, and you want to give some food?" Because like
You
people
got any
feed them.
nuts?
Yeah, they'll come
Get
up
your
and
nuts
hang out.
out right now.
They'll hang out with you, you know, have a
I
They're
beer.
very
wanna
diseased,
taste
aren't they?
your
That's why you
nuts.
guys don't like them. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, I'll carry one home. Like they
No.
seem so
You'll get
fun,
ticks,
you know.
You'll get Lyme's disease. You'll get rabies. You got
Oh,
a
wow.
plethora of bad things. I
But
mean,
you'll
RFK
also
hangs
get
out with them all.
you'll also get a squirrel.
Yeah, you'll have your own squirrel at the same time. And at the same time, you'll also have
Well, hey, at least if you hold an animal down here, you may or may not get a venereal disease.
no. There you go. There's always
May or may not. I'm going to be hopeful to say you won't, but chlamydia is a thing. So
yeah.
no,
There is
that's not true. That's not
Again,
true.
I live in
We're
West
thinking about-
Texas. It's you can't throw a rock without hitting some kind of venereal disease around here.
Oh,
This show is turning
Even the rock has a
completely
venereal
opposite
disease.
of what we're here for.
Well, we're
Yeah.
still staying on the subject of the rock, though.
yeah. We
I wonder how many venereal diseases the rock has.
The Rock has.
The
That's
Rock.
right.
Oh my god.
I mean, do you smell what the rock is cooking? Because something's burning.
Mm.
Name me the best Rock film out. Name it. Name it. What's the best thing he's ever done? It's not easy, is it?
No. Smokes.
I'm thinking of one of his earlier ones. I really like.
Yeah, I was gonna
Rundown.
say probably something a long time ago because
Didn't mind the
Hmm.
rundown. Didn't mind.
The
He
rundown was good, yeah.
the rundown
Be
was good.
cool when he did that little kind of playing the
I
actor
don't
guy.
think I ever saw that
Um,
one.
Mm.
What else has he done in his giant blockbusters? Though nothing really is memorable. Like
Yeah.
Skyscraper,
Didn't
the
like
one with
that.
the big white Rampage.
Yeah, that was whack.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a bunch of them.
Pain and Gain was okay.
The
Yeah, that's
Tooth
for the Michael
Fairy.
Bay.
It was terrible.
Yeah, look, it's probably
I
one of
never
his.
saw it.
I bet you it's one of the ones that made him the most amount of money though. Yeah, he's got one of these epic careers where he has highly forgettable films.
Yeah. Get
Isn't that
Smart. was okay.
crazy?
Would you consider the other guys a rock movie, though?
No,
'Cause
because
okay.
it's an extended
Mm.
cameo. As soon as they jump off that building,
Doom was
Yeah.
trash. The rundown
which
was
is amazing. I'm sorry, that is. Why don't they make films like that anymore?
I
Bring
don't
us
know.
more other guys.
yeah. That was a good movie.
Okay,
What was the
yeah,
one that
I'm
he
look-
did with Kevin Hart? That one was pretty good. Where he was fat as a kid.
Yeah, that was National
The jail one.
Security.
Yeah.
No,
National
wasn't it?
Security. Yeah.
That was the one we had to go to jail, and he hired Kevin Hart to teach him how to be.
Central Intelligence.
Central Intelligence.
Central
No, that's
Intelligence.
where he was a CIA agent.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Will Smith and not Will Smith,
Okay.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Oh.
throw this out there. His one great movie,
Mm.
Moana. That's it.
Never saw it.
Okay, that's a really interesting suggestion you say there because I've derided this film based on his voice performance in this film. How do you? I mean, Moana. It's almost completely.
It's
the other side.
yeah,
Talking
he's
cheeks.
great in Moana, and he can actually sing too.
Yeah, no, he can sing. He has a good voice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen the on-set photos of him dressed up for the live action?
No, but he's
Yeah.
Samoan,
I mean,
so it feels.
Yeah,
like
it's just I'm gonna go watch Lilo and Stitch, but I really kind of wish Disney would stop. Just
I
stop.
wish this was it. I wish they would say, we're going out on a high. Here's Leo and Stitch, which does look amazing. It does look great.
It looks
Everything.
like it's going to be a less fun version of the animated version, but they do
you
have
think
some
less
extra
fun?
stuff in there that
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe they'll make it different enough, but from what I understand, Jumba and Pleakley are going to be like in human costumes the whole time.
Oh,
well, that
Pleakley's
sucks.
not going to be a cross-dresser because Disney wouldn't let
Oh,
him.
well, that
It's woke.
sucks.
So it's
That's
just like,
stupid.
yeah, and I'm just looking at this thinking, yeah, it's going to be like a less wacky version of the cartoon.
Oh,
I'm still
okay.
going to see it. My hopes are
Disappointed.
still there
high.
somewhere, but
Yeah.
Disney has burned me so many times. They've only had maybe 2 good animated live action versions of animated movies.
I was
One of them's
thinking
The
about
Jungle
that
Book.
again the other day,
Which
Jay, and I
ones?
was going to say the Jungle Book.
The Jungle
Oh, the
Book.
Jungle
and
Book was
probably
very good.
Cinderella, which I
Oh.
think was Kenneth Branagh directed one, which I
No,
thought was quite good.
no, I didn't care for Cinderella, but I didn't like
Yeah, I
the
don't-
first. I didn't like the animated Cinderella.
Yeah, they
No,
have
well, there you go.
those.
No, I thought Megan wanted to watch it, and I thought actually it was pretty good.
Oh, actually, I like
And-
Beauty and the Beast. That one was okay.
Nah,
No?
can't stand her.
It was like bad community theater version of Beauty.
Oh.
and the
Yeah, it
Beast.
kind of was with
Damn.
really
Yeah.
kind of.
Whenever Whenever
like,
Emma
Polar
Watson
Express
shows up on
animation.
stage, whenever Emma Watson shows up on screen and she goes, "There goes the baker with his tray like always," and I'm just, oh my god, do you not hear yourself singing? Because if you did hear yourself singing, you would stop.
Oh, there goes the baker. Jeez.
Okay, have you ever noticed that whole song is just Belle roasting everyone in the village and then wondering
Yes.
why nobody likes her?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just, there goes the baker with his tray like always. The same old bread and rolls to sell. And there's the baker over there. There goes that asshole. It's Belle once again.
Yeah, what the
Judging
hell, lady?
everyone she sees.
Yeah.
I hate that little minx. Her opinions really stinks.
Hey, did you see Snow White?
No.
No.
Anyone seen this film?
I'm going to hate
Did it
watch
even
it when it
get
shows up on
released?
Disney.
Yeah.
When it
Yeah.
shows up
They-
on Disney Plus, I will hate watch it.
Same.
Yes.
They re-released that film only a couple of weeks
And
ago.
it bombed again!
$2 million it made out of a whole weekend of 1,200 cinemas, Joe.
Why did
That's
they
like 3
re-release
people
it?
in each movie. What?
Why did they think that was going to work?
I have no idea. It's the same. It's the same.
It's
More-
Morbin
more
time.
bad
It's the
time.
Morbius
Yes,
thing.
yes. It's Morbius too.
Yeah.
That's why they should have just called it Snow White Morbid Time.
It's,
Oh, I heard Gal Gadot is awful in it. That's what I want to watch.
I have seen a scene of her, like as the evil queen reacting to someone, and it is laughable. I mean, it's not even like, it's not, wow, that's a bad performance. It's like, holy God, how was she not fired that day?
Wow.
Yeah, it's just really
Yeah,
bad.
and she just doesn't seem, maybe physically they've kind of got her close to Snow White, but she doesn't seem to be the right personality fit. So Rachel Zegler. I'm not saying as a human being, as an actress, like what's in her scope of performance.
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
seem the right fit.
Yeah.
Like who she has as a person, I don't know. I know she got in trouble for saying things she wasn't supposed to, but it is Disney. You know, you can't say
really-
nothing.
Yeah. And it was
So,
weird because like one was on one side and one was on the other, so they were both like they was both.
Oh
ugly
yeah,
drunk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was-
Either way,
you
you
know,
were screwed.
it's
There was
like
no win.
everything. We can't have anything without it turning into a geopolitical argument, and
Yep.
it's
Mhm.
horrible. It's just a movie. All right, it's
Yeah.
just a movie
Just
that nobody asked for, mind you. That's
and
the
nobody
other
watched apparently.
Nobody watched.
Disney needs to learn that we don't care about Snow White.
Nope.
We just don't. Nobody was sitting there going, "Oh my goodness! I hope we get a live action Snow White." No, literally, no one asked for it. No one got excited over it. I just want to know who is on the Disney focus groups
Yeah.
where
Ron
that
DeSantis.
one 90-year-old woman is like, whenever I was 20, my fiance took me to go see Snow White, and it scared the hell out of me because the pictures were moving.
Oh wow.
Well,
This is
I
really-
heard
Well,
there
we
was a
should do a
rumor-
Snow White movie.
There was a rumor going around at one point that they were developing Bambi
That's what
for
I
live
heard, too.
action, but Disney pulled out of it because
Yep.
they couldn't figure out because they didn't want to show the mum dying.
Right.
I'm like, well,
That's
don't
the only
make the
part of
film.
the movie anybody
It was-
remembers.
Yeah,
The
it's
emotional
shocking.
core and the motivation and the beginning
Yeah.
of her journey.
Okay.
Like it's a ridiculous concept. I tell you what, this is my weird theory. Take the one movie that made no money and was considered too dark, make that a live action film. Give us the Black Cauldron.
Sword in the Stone.
Cauldron.
Oh, sorry.
No, Black Cauldron. I mean, they're
Black
darkest
Oh
film.
my
Okay.
god. Wow,
Black
okay, yeah,
Cauldron, Atlantis, Treasure Planet.
yeah.
Those
We thought-
three movies,
yeah,
remake them in
Atlantis.
live action, they will be hits.
Atlantis: A Lost Empire, man. I
Fantastic
absolutely
movie.
love that movie.
Yes,
so
it's
much.
fantastic.
Yeah, like I totally dig her. Yeah.
I haven't seen
And
it.
I love Treasure Planet. I think Treasure Planet's fantastic.
You know what I'm gonna
Black
watch?
Cauldron is
Yeah, I remember
boring.
Black Cauldron.
It's
I remember.
Yeah,
boring.
but as a live action, you could really make that work.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it
could
would.
tighten up some of that. The visuals would be great. Yeah, nothing holding you back visually from making that it'd be a good attempt for Disney to try to get into that fantasy realm. Try to
Yes.
get some Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that
Yes.
would be a good idea.
Just less incest, please.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great.
Yes, that would be great. It's not so good when that's come. What are they doing, Mummy?
Yeah.
Sorry, later.
Well, you see, honey, when a brother and sister love each other very much,
It's certain states.
In
South.
certain states, especially the reddest of the red states.
Oh my god. Thank you for tuning in to this review of the League of Super
I'm a
Pets,
family
a family picture.
Yeah. Oh, my
Well,
God.
there you go. I mean, that, and you're right, Judge. Time to tie it up here.
It was time to tie it up 30 minutes
half an
ago.
hour ago. Yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
who's still watching is looking at their watch going, why am I still watching this?
Why am I paying for Patreon?
I'm in this thing and I'm wondering, why am I still watching this?
They love it. You know they love it, Jace. because
Yeah, that's true.
They are loyal fans who, for some reason, think we're likable people. And how do we let not only those people to know to keep contributing, but to bring more people into the insanity that is the VHS Vault?
Oh my goodness. If for some reason you are brain damaged enough to want to contribute to this, please visit the YouTube video description below where you will see a link to our Patreon. And on Patreon, you can donate as little as $5 a month or more if you are awesome and handsome and just the best person in the world. You can also become a YouTube channel member, and if you become either one of those things, you get videos early, you get bonus materials, including, and I know I've said this before, but you get the poop story that no one else is getting unless you either requested it on Cameo or you became a Patreon. You get the poop story. It's not my story. It's a story somebody wanted me to read, but I did lose it halfway through and thought, and actually you can hear me go, oh my God, why am I reading this?
Well, let's also hammer in. If you are a Patreon or a channel member, you're getting exclusive, not 2 days prior to everyone else.
Oh, no.
Currently, we're in the scennario where you're getting things almost a month and beyond earlier than anyone else.
We are recording this on May 15th. I will probably have this ready
2023
and posted by Saturday, May 17th.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be getting this a month and a half early.
It is a month and a half early. It's amazing.
Imagine that. Patreons get exposed to this a month and a half before anyone else does.
Well, I really paid for this.
Oh my God. Me and my son were going to watch this review of the League of Super Pets, and then they're talking about incest all of a sudden. What's going on?
Yeah, we try to stay family friendly, but we are all
so does the incest.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So there
I'm
it is.
out of here. This is it. That's it.
Bye,
Joe,
guys.
you're a legend. Hey, Joe, where can we find you, mate?
Oh,
Where
you
we
can find me
you?
on the Captain Squadron where VHS Jace and will be well, you haven't said anything.
Well, no. Look, you would have returned from a very successful.
Yeah, we had an
trip.
amazing time at the Treckling Island.
You kicked ass, pair of you.
Yeah, we got to interview Andrew Robinson.
Yeah.
We got to interview Philip Morris and his wife Iona Morris.
Can I ask you a favor? If you remember, ask him about his time on Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I was going to
He
ask
was
him
in the
about that.
series, and it was filmed here in Australia.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
No, it's Mission Impossible in Australia.
So we love Philip Morris.
Yeah, definitely.
I love you, Philip Morris. There you go.
There you go. And we launched our Patreon. You can do that. You get stuff. You get a shirt. You get specials, one-offs.
I'm getting a cut of that shirt with my logos and stuff.
Don't you have it? The wormholes one, yeah, you get 80%. If you buy the wormhole shirt, it goes to him. But
I just have to pop in here for just a second and tell you both that this is now the longest episode of the VHS Vault ever.
Amazing.
Nice.
Look at that, an hour and 3 minutes, and
we
have said nothing of value. Nothing at all. We've actually lost value. If you have tuned in for this show, you have lost value.
I know
you
one
have actually
now.
It's
who's watching this right now who would have made it all the way. I at least know one dude who would go.
There's got to be 3.
I don't know. I think we're even testing him right now. He's going to that unsubscribe button right now. Like, oh God, no! They're talking about Snow White. I came here to talk about the League of Super Pets.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in for an extended. This is the Zack Snyder cut of the VHS Vault tonight.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we'll see you guys next time.